Welcome to the Circle Star Firearms and Outdoors podcast, your home for the latest products and news in the shooting sports, hunting, and the great outdoors. And now, here are your hosts, Jake Cawthon and Jason Westmoreland.
Hey everybody, Jake, Jason, and Frank back with you again, talking hunting.
Yep. So,
Got to talk about a little redemption.
so if y'all listened last week, we talked about Jake's.
We have to bring this up again.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It didn't go the way it is planned because karma's a bitch.
It did.
And
bit
got
me big,
got him.
got me bad.
So,
But the good news is there is a 7 PRC downstairs at 70% off.
so before we go any further, guys, if you're listening, get the opportunity, like, share,
Subscribe.
thank you for listening.
Do the
Thank
whole
you, guys.
thing.
Check all our platform out. If you get the opportunity, hop over to Frank's platform, B&B Taxidermy. You'll be impressed. So check some of his stuff out. But
Especially if you're going, overseas or doing trophy rooms or all the way down. If you just want like 15 doves mounted, it's
Yeah.
a perfect place to go for.
or maybe not the best place to go if you got a panda bear
No,
or a koala.
nope.
Yeah, lead time on those.
It's apparently a long
A
time.
lot.
It's a
long
little
time.
tricky.
Or
But without further ado, here we'll pick up with part 2 of Jake's Axis Hunt continued. So we got to the point to where
yeah. So
A week later.
your will
no,
week
it's longer
No,
than that.
was it 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's
2
2
weeks.
weeks. So
You
after the whole
walking
thing, I
around.
was
It
pretty.
took, it took a little while.
feeling like a huge failure. I get it. I get
Did
it.
I was?
had to let
I
the
was.
scab
I'm
fall
not gonna lie. I was pretty sore over it
Yeah.
all. Not that I was going to get back out there. I just didn't want to do it immediately. And
And you went on vacation.
I did. So that helped.
And we were so happy at the store that you left.
That was
you
perfect.
don't even
It
know.
was perfect timing.
It was perfect timing. We were all like,
I think he needed
God.
that.
He did.
You
He
did
did.
need that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I went
worried you were
to-
going to kill somebody in New York City.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
went to
oh.
my place is in New
Yeah.
York City, right?
Go to the rudest place in the world. Let's see how that works out.
Oh, but the trip was fun. We did the whole thing with the family. Came back. You don't appreciate how good Grimes County is until you leave. You go somewhere like
Yeah.
that.
Agreed.
Good Lord Almighty. So we come back and Frank's already like, hey, let's go. And I wasn't exactly ready to get back
He
on the
was
horse.
not enthusiastic. Don't even.
No. And a lot of it was too, Travis has never killed. He's killed a little spike buck.
And Travis is your son, 12 years old.
Yeah, Travis.
Yeah.
He's 12. He's my buddy. We go duck hunt a lot. We do a lot of stuff together. He just never killed anything. And while he does shoot quite a bit, I don't have the greatest confidence in his skills in a quick situation because you got to get it set up and you look in the right spot. Every dad's been out there. You don't see what's through the scope. But you line up in the right spot. You're doing all the things you're supposed to. And then what if he closes his eyes and flinches or whatever it is? And I just come off of this horrible situation, and I was not looking to relive it. And so Frank's like, we gotta get back on the horse, right? You get bucked off, you gotta get back on. He's all super enthusiastic, and I'm just trying to be like, fine, let's go.
He was, too.
I was.
I have a question real quick. Side note. What was your, I know you expressed, you didn't have super confidence in Travis, but what confidence did you have in the firearm you were bringing? Like really?
Oh, the one I brought for him?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
That's my hammer.
Yeah.
Like I'll take anything with that. We're going bull elephant hunting. I'm taking my Creedmoor.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is.
I mean, I have it. I'm gonna say I have 60% more confidence in that caliber now.
And you know what's funny about it? Here's where it gets really crazy. So I know the last episode we dogged the ammo pretty hard. And I think kind of rightly deserved, but we were. The funny thing is, that's still Hornady ammo. It's not loaded by Hornady, but those are
Right.
Hornady projectiles. So instead of being the ELDX, these are the ELDM, the match grade, which are a thinner bullet, a thinner jacketed bullet that, because you're just shooting targets or steel or paper, whatever it is. So they'll open up a lot faster. And because of that, I like the round. And the company that ammo is they're loading them like super hot, almost to
Right.
PRC specs. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I think you told me that. You said it was like freaking fast.
Crazy hot for a Creedmoor. And I've killed a lot of stuff with it. I killed a bear with it, a pronghorn with it, whitetail with it, deer with it, all sorts of stuff. And I was like, I know it's dead on. It's a laser beam. It's everything I wanted in a good rifle.
Yeah.
And so I brought it and I was ready to go. And so it worked out well. So we had come to agreement, for this whole access thing. I got a trophy and I got a management. And Travis is my best friend. He's my buddy, right? And he's coming up. I want him to get super excited about being in the outdoors because that's my thing. And this is, my dad didn't grow up in the outdoors at all. Didn't hunt. My granddaddy didn't do it. I had one on my mom's side that I went 3 times with them my whole life, right? So I grew up without having all these stories that my buddies did of going to the deer lease with their dad or going on this trip with their dad. And I always said, coming up that I was going to do, I wanted the same thing with my kids, spend where I love to be is the outdoors with them. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job with it. And so I wanted him to have this experience because for the last 3 years, because we don't have a deer lease, I've been getting these invites, onesies and twosies here and there to go kind of, hey, if you want to take a deer, I got 15 acres, y'all go sit out there. I got 40 acres, y'all can go sit out there. No feeders, no nothing, just if you get lucky. And a lot of his friends their dads have leases in Rock Springs or South Texas or wherever, and they, every year, boom, big deer. And he's, Travis is a little jealous, right? I get it. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna get Travis a good deer. He's gonna go shoot. And I let him shoot my axe deer, my management, because what a great way to get a young man encouraged over everything. Yeah. And so,
well, I didn't tell you this, but I already knew in my head, I'm about to find this kid the biggest freaking management deer I can, because his dad just dropped the ball, so he's got to pick it up and run with it.
Someone's got to do a good job.
Yeah.
And so it was this last Sunday, we out there, and I was at work, and I was like, hey, I'll meet you out there after 5. We got to close at 5. We'll drive out there. And
so I got out there a little bit before Jake did, and my dad had been mowing that day, as he does. And he said, hey, do you think Jake would want to shoot an oryx? And I said, yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I have one that is not doing well. She's really old. She's just, I don't know if it was the heat, what it was. She is just run down. It's she needs to go. And so I texted Jake, and he's like, oh, yeah, yep.
Well,
on our way.
See, I thought he was, because I already mentioned I needed cape for my horns because, obviously we didn't get any meat off of it. And I said, hey, I'll buy another management deer off of you just so we can have the cape and I get the meat. And I don't care how big the horns are because I just need, basically the skin, right? And so he messages me, he texts me, he goes, hey, bring a gun for my dad. He has a deal for you. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll shoot a management too. I don't care. I'm bringing a gun already. I'll just buy one real fast, And I'm going back and forth with him through text messages, hey, what does your dad want? Handgun, pistol, shotgun? What caliber does he want? Cause
I guess I kind of left that text open-ended.
Yeah.
I should have seen how that was going to play out, actually.
I was. I was just going to figure out what he wanted. I was going to go buy something off the wall and just hey, thanks, Mike. Yeah. Appreciate you letting me go out again.
Not what I meant at all.
And finally he's like, no, dumbass. I bring something you could kill an oryx with. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm already in, but cool. So it's excited. Travis shows up and he's ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just it's my time. I'm like, yeah, and we got this, we got a deal going on, just let's go. And so we close up the shop and we head out there. And Travis loves your parents, especially your mom. And I think I know why, because I've yet to show up there and there's not something being cooked.
Yeah.
And Travis is that very beginning stage of puberty to where he's like a locust. And he's just eating everything in his path.
I don't know if I've seen that kid without a Dr. Pepper or food.
I don't know that he's ever since he's little, he's been like that. The dude can eat all the time.
Does.
Even when he used to come over to the house, we'd watch him and stuff with Samantha. Samantha'd be yelling at him, quit eating all their food. He'd just be going through our refrigerator.
He doesn't stop. And so,
how is it on road trips?
He gripes a lot.
Because you don't stop. I guarantee the two of y'all don't stop.
When we went to Montana, the amount of M&Ms he ate, because every time we stop at a gas station, we'd get every flavor.
Yeah.
And that's become a thing, by the way.
M&Ms?
Oh, no. It's a road trip theme food-wise. So when we went to the dog trial in Maryland, it was all the weird flavors of Pringles.
Yeah. Cool.
Something different every day.
Weird? How many weird flavor?
A
Oh,
shit
dude.
ton.
Oh wow.
Like
more than just like the pizza one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like
I thought
there was
that one was weird.
the grossest
no.
one was like hot honey.
Hot honey.
It's like spicy honey. It's gross.
Doritos has come out with some wild ones. Like, yeah.
Anyhow, so we're good.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry.
so-
Anyways, so we show up and I got my tail tucked a little bit.
He
'cause
does. I can see the PTSD in his face.
I did, all of a sudden it was like the last
Dad's
chopper
not
out of
doing
Nam,
well.
right? I'm a little flashbacks.
so
And even worse, like we end up sitting back in this. Like I'll skip ahead just a half second. Like we end up sitting in the same blind, looking the same freaking feeder. There's like 7 of them out there. We end up in the same
He starts kind of
one.
twitching and sweating a little bit. And I'm like, it's
Best
okay.
case scenario in this, a 12-year-old's about to show you up.
Yeah.
So
This is bad.
yeah. And he was excited. Travis was excited.
Yeah.
We get there.
I was excited.
And-
I was like, this is gonna be
Redemption.
the redemption.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna make a heck of a freaking day out of this.
Nice.
So we're hanging out there, chatting, like you do anywhere you get there. Just kind of
Yeah,
shoot the breeze a little bit. So that way Travis can eat like 7 chickens.
Right.
And
And
he does.
3 or 4 sodas. And Dad had told me kind of where they were hanging out, the animals, and this thing was not doing well. And so I was like, well, we'll just go ride back there and kind of see what we see, And so we go back there and
so let me set this up though, so y'all can kind of picture it.
Yeah.
They've got a Kubota UTV that's 2 bench seats, and you got Frank driving. You got Travis in the front. He's got my Creedmoor there, bipods on the hood, and like he's all set up.
was good.
And
I thought it was good.
And I'm just sitting in the back seat, like
Well, the first thing he says right after we leave the house, hey, he doesn't shoot real quick. I kind of look at Travis and I'm like, you got it, buddy.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Well, I've been
that's a
we've been there
dad thing
before.
too.
No,
right?
it is. I could tell. Like, and that's fair. That is completely
Yeah,
fair.
it's the thing is, like he needs to get set up. He's not he's not competent enough yet to go make a snapshot with
Yeah.
a rifle, right?
Yeah. And I wasn't going to ask him to do that.
And number 2, the last freaking thing I wanted to have happen is the same shit that happened like 2 weeks ago.
I was going to say, maybe
Well,
it's not that.
and I didn't make you feel any better because before we left the house, I grabbed my backup rifle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jake, just bring it, buddy.
That's why I dropped it.
Yeah,
like,
maybe-
he intentionally dropped it.
Maybe it's not that Travis, underconfident on making a quicker shot. Maybe somebody else is a little overconfident.
Yeah.
So
God.
so we get out there, start cruising around, and
We're seeing everything but.
yeah.
Literally.
If I were you, I wouldn't have been. I would have been like, Frank, just take him. Like, if I'm going to be there, I'm going to be overanalyzing everything.
No,
I
actually Jake was good.
No,
after
I wouldn't
that.
have been.
He
I
really
would've been-
was.
I would've been-
He was very composed for a little while.
No,
He was. And he did well. I mean,
Yeah,
he
I would
wasn't
just-
overly
Like, whisper in his
messing
ear,
with
don't
Travis.
screw this up, kid.
oh no, my ESP was. I'm like,
Walking home.
I'm doing like the whole like Vulcan mind read thing, just like don't fuck up, don't fuck up.
Our family name is on the line. Come on, dude.
Yeah, if he would have wounded another one, I'd have to sell my half of the store. Like, I can never be seen again.
Although we could have printed Jason like father, like son shirts. Just saying.
Oh,
Sorry, that was a little raw.
Nice.
that cut deep.
That's funny. Yeah.
Funny.
So anyhow, we're
You said Jason. Ouch.
I'm gonna go get a bunch of Conroe taxidermy stickers now. There's some bitches everywhere.
oh god.
So we start
Oh,
cruising
there goes
around.
my discount.
And
Gone.
so we're cruising around the ranch looking because the scimitar horned oryx is a herd animal.
Yeah.
So they're typically together, and we know about where they were, and we saw them for like a split second, like the little bit of the herd, and then they were like gone. But we find some axes, we find a bunch of whitetail, and just looking around, and 4, 5, 6 laps later, because we're there to hunt. An axis,
Really-
the oryx
really
is
it was
really
axis.
just like a
That,
little
yeah,
extra.
that was literally a bonus animal.
Yeah.
And
And his dad was 100% right, because it either injured itself or got snake bit or something. Something happened to where it was actively in the process of slowly dying. And Mike said that, at least this way it serves a good purpose. It takes it out of the herd for herd health. Y'all get some meat out of it, and it doesn't just slowly suffer and die. And then I already have a bad enough coyote problem. I don't need to give them more reason to be here.
No.
And so, we go back up the house and we're like, hey, and ask, Mike, hey, where did you see this? Because we drove over, we didn't see anything. He's like, nah, she's right there. Like, we'll go figure it out. Let's go. So now we're out there on
2 buggies.
2 buggies. And he goes, okay, sit
I
up.
thought at one point you were going to get with Dad. I thought you were going to jump in with him. I don't know why. Like, I just felt like you were like, I need to be away from this.
Oh, no.
That's where I would have been.
I was there with
Yeah,
Travis.
that's where I would have been. I want to see it with my boy, but I know that I'd be like, eh.
So we sit up and, there's, some motion and his dad's kind of moving around the backside to get them kind of stirred around, get them out of the brush.
Mm-hmm. So we're looking down. This is a different right away, but it's about 350 yards or so. And there's kind of a big, thick brush line and another big, thick brush line with a creek right behind us. And so Dad kind of, pushes around one side, him and a dog, and lo and behold, about 120 yards away, she steps out broadside.
And very obviously compared to the herd that she's hurting. She's drawn down. She's
Immediately,
limping
I
real
knew
hard.
that one. I mean, there was no doubt. And Travis, held his composure, incredibly well. We had him set up on the little bipod, and I thought he had a decent
Here's what
rest.
I was concerned with, because there's no windshield and we got the bipod legs out on the hood, and I was more worried about him being able to get steady behind it, not wiggling, not all over. And so,
But he did really good. I mean, literally, the animal walked out, and I'm like, Travis, shoot it right behind the shoulder, kill it. And I think it was maybe a 10-second pause, and it's, and it was immediate.
Just drilled her.
As soon as he touched it off, I knew that animal's dead for sure, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
No. She was hit
Way to
right.
go, Travie.
Oh yeah, dude, awesome.
High fives,
Awesome
hugs,
shoulder.
all over the place.
Oh, dude.
It's-
We're so
Jake
pumped.
starts having flashbacks.
He did. Because he did. I know you were sweating it.
Well, I was sitting there with the binos and I was watching like a hawk. Like I wasn't even blinking. I wasn't breathing. I was like,
And I was watching
Jake.
Travis. I'll be honest. I was watching Travis, and the whole time I'm watching the animal, but kind of watching him. And I was literally just looking for the trigger pull. And dude, he broke that trigger just perfect. And that was one thing Dad always taught me, shooting. If you watch a kid pull a trigger, if that trigger breaks clean, 99% of the time it's going to hit what they're aiming at.
Yeah.
And it did.
and so it was a perfect shot right behind the shoulder. Didn't go through and through. It was funny because the round ended up like a pimple underneath the skin on the
other
backside.
side.
Which is crazy because the Oryx I shot with 300 Win Mag, the exact same thing happened to where you could feel the round on
Really?
the other side, on the outside. But it didn't go all the way through.
What bullet are you shooting? Now I'm really curious.
So that's the SIG Elite.
Is this solid copper?
Yeah,
Solid copper?
it's their match bullet.
I would have
That
thought
one
that
is.
would have went through. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But she ran about 50 yards in the brush and piled up, and
Done.
it was nothing but, dude, he was like,
My dog was on her within 3 seconds. I got in there. She was still kicking, and she took her death throws, and that was it. It was awesome. Then it was pictures and smiles and high fives.
oh yeah, he was all
Oh,
excited because
dude.
it made his world just that alone.
This is the
because-
first big animal he's killed. He's killed a doe
Ever.
before.
And it was a
hadn't he?
decent. I mean, it wasn't.
No, you remember he
It
killed a little
wasn't
button buck?
a little button buck.
or
That's it.
We thought was a doe? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I mean
So
this is a mountable animal for
Yeah.
sure. I mean it's not the world's largest
and-
oryx, but it was a
For a
good
12-year-old, a
solid
Yeah,
solid-
no shit.
He's better.
Yeah.
12-year-old
Yeah.
Oryx. Yeah.
Yeah. And the best part for him, he's all excited in the back.
Jake's like
He's
thinking for a
talking.
38-year-old it'd be a good Oryx.
Yeah, no shit. I would shot shit out of that thing. Well, and they offered it to me. I was like, no, we're gonna let Travis shoot.
The stud move. Stud move.
And so that was the first thing. I was like, hey, how many friends have killed an endangered species? He's like, none. I'm like, well, now you're one up. And
You're one up,
And
yeah.
he's like every guy. He's got his little friend group where
Oh,
they're
yeah.
and they're little young men. They're just they're all kind of posturing for like top dog, and so they're always trying to one up each other. And
Yeah.
he's like, I got him now.
I got him.
And so
just shooting stupid deer.
Wonder where he gets that from.
Yeah, I have no idea. Not one guess.
so we took a bunch of cool photos. I sent them off to folks, just bragging on them. And we go back over to this was early.
Yeah, that was at like, I don't even know if it was 6 o'clock.
It wasn't.
It may have been just after 6.
And so we go back to the camp house and we skin it out, get it on ice, and everyone's high fiving. Travis over there helping. We're kind of explaining how it all works.
We let him skin a little bit, and then I kind of was like,
"That's cool.
Let's go fast."
Yeah, I was like, "Okay, this is awesome, and I really appreciate what we're doing here, but
we got
feeders go off in about an hour and a half.
Let's go.
I want to get this kid a freaking axis, dude."
Yeah. So did you or your dad like put the blindfold on as they watch this shit and just peel it?
Yeah,
no matter.
I had him out in just a few minutes.
Yeah,
and then I think we went and got some waters and got Travis a 3/4 of another chicken leg.
And we're actually not joking. So
no, we're not.
So he'd already eaten once.
Well, he
an
went
hour
to the.
ago.
Did he go to the? He went to the house then and made a big plate.
Yeah. So as soon as we got there, your mom made him a plate of food. And then we go shoot this orcs and come back, and we go get ourselves a couple beverages and a bottle of water. And your mom goes, "Are you hungry?" And you're like, "No, we got to go." It's like, "Can I at least give him some chicken?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so,
love that kid.
So now we're driving.
He's got half of it hung out in his mouth, dude.
We're in the buggy. You got a chicken quarter is what it is, and he's got the leg in the mouth, and he's driving. And right as you go over the lake, the cattle guard by the lake, and you go down, and for a half second, we see it, and there's an axis buck sitting at the end of the lane. He's like, "Game time." Frank's like, he's like, get your gun. He's like, and now you're in that rush.
He's literally got a chicken leg hanging out of his mouth, trying to grab a rifle.
I wish I would have got pictures of that.
I swear to Jesus,
that would have been the best picture.
You know what? And I'm about to throw you under the bus for a second.
Did I eat the rest of the chicken?
No, I don't care about that. You own a gun store.
Yeah.
And I have never seen such a pretty non-functioning rifle in my life.
What?
Dude,
I didn't clean it since we got back from
all
Montana.
I could do to freaking bolt that thing.
It's his first time.
No, sir. Not even a little bit. Do not. I mean, a freaking can of rim oil would have went a mile on that thing.
You know what's funny? Still haven't cleaned it.
I'm sure you haven't. No. I mean, what's the point now?
Yeah.
You might as well throw it in a lake or something.
Spit on it.
Something.
Give it to Travis.
Good Lord. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many. I can think of at least 3 times. I know when he shot the orcs, I tried to bolt him another round, and it spit one half out, and I'm literally hitting it on the back of my palm to get the freaking bolt to go forward.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Should have totally came home and been like, "Travis, all right, you killed him. Now you got to clean the rifle."
Why didn't you make him clean the gun? That's a great idea. Because it's my gun. Oh, my God.
All right, so we're on the axis.
Yeah, because you don't have a 7 BRC right now.
Kobe still got it.
Yeah.
So we see it, get them all set up, and we drive down, and it just takes off.
Takes off, gone.
So whatever. So, but the good news is, we still got time, and we get over the blind. Turns out that I think he's just jacking with me. So we go back the exact same blind that I shot my axis and lost it in.
That's awesome.
I had to.
And so I'm literally sitting like 6 feet away, not even that far, like 4 feet away from the chair. Like there's 3 chairs in there, and there's like Travis and Frank and me. And I shot it from the far right one. I'm like,
yeah. He just keeps sweating, keeps like, son of a bitch. Like you couldn't have picked any other blind on the property.
And here's the problem.
Here's
the problem.
Is
here. That I'm sitting there still replaying. I watched the video again. I'm looking down the lane.
And this is 2 weeks later.
It was.
And you're
still hurt over it. So
did you watch the video while we were in the blind? You did not.
I absolutely did.
Oh my God.
So I'm looking at it. I'm trying to. The whole situation blew my mind. Either way. So here we are. And we're looking and we're talking, and now I'm just killing time, right? So I
Yeah.
got my binoculars up. I'm trying to burn through the brush, catch some movement, because I want to be the first person to see an accident. I don't know, just having fun trying to see if I can find one. Because you can hear them roar out in the distance, so they're around. And next thing you know, Frank goes, "Hey, there's an axis buck." And I'm like, "Where?" And it is perfectly in the corner of what I can't see. And so now I'm trying to...
It's standing on the edge of the brush.
I'm trying to move, and I'm trying not to do much. And he's like, "Look over here." So I just stick my head out the window. And I'm like, "Oh, there it is." And it walks in, and solid looking deer. And
Very mature.
and so Frank goes, "Hey, this one's for Travis. This is Travis' deer." And I find out later that...
Well, I remember exactly what Travis said.
what did he say?
I said, "Yeah, we're going to shoot this one." And he goes, "Oh, thank God."
Well, he told me when, like, later on the way home, because we're sitting talking about it, and he goes like, "Hey, my skin still feels like it's electrified." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the adrenaline. That's the good stuff."
Yeah.
He's like, "Man, I feel like I can do anything right now." I'm like, "Yeah, that's adrenaline." And he's like, "You know what's crazy?" He goes, like, he got quiet for a second, and then like a minute or two later, he goes, "You know what's crazy about the whole situation is I wasn't nervous with the orcs, but when Frank said that was my axis, like, I got super nervous, super fast. Like, I started shaking. I'm like,
He
yeah."
did.
It's
I mean,
like,
he held it
that's
together. I
buck-
will tell you that. I was watching him hard, and he held it together well. You know, and I told him 2 or 3 times, like, just control your breathing, you know, take long, deep breaths. And he did
so,
good.
And so this axis comes out.
And I'm really proud of you, Dad. Like, you did well. Because, like, you don't know how many times I've been in the blind with dads that are more nervous than the son. And I'm not saying you weren't.
Oh, it was.
But
I got a little PTSD in that blind.
You
sir.
understood that I had it under control.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate that.
It speaks a lot of my trust in you as a guide, considering, you know, your track record.
I don't know why. Yeah. I'm batting like, 75%, I guess.
So, but we're trying to get them all set up, and he's got like same Creedmoor, he's on bags, but my worry is the back half of it.
Yeah.
Can he get it steady? Because it's still a little big for him. He's not quite to a full length of pull yet, so where he can get right. And so I'm trying to come up with stuff. So I take my bino harness off. I'm like, "Hey, stick this underneath the rifle so we can get a secondary rest so you can get steady." And this whole time, this axis has come out, which I found funny because you're like, "Yeah, they never go to feeders." He is just eating at the feeder.
The whole time.
Nice.
And that's how I knew this is the deer, because a couple reasons. Number one, he probably, I don't remember what he weighed, 220, 230, something like that. So he was a big deer. And he was by himself, which is indicative of you just got your butt whooped, which means you're not the alpha. And it was an old deer. He's
big.
I mean, big bodied, big, heavy, massive horns. I mean, he was just an old, great, mature, whatever you want to call it, management deer. He actually taped out. I measured that deer today at 32 inches.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a hell of a deer.
That's a great deer.
Yeah.
It's a great deer.
And so it comes out, it's hanging out doing his thing, and here comes a whitetail doe fawn, I guess, or button buck, one of the two.
One of the two.
And it's hanging out because I don't think we saw any other deer yet.
I think there was a little doe that was probably the mama of that baby. But yeah, there was no other axis.
Yeah, it was just
that.
Just this one.
It was like if we could have picked a more perfect deer for Travis, I don't know what it would have been.
Oh yeah, no, I can't think of it. And so he comes out, but the next thing I got worried about, right? I got a lot of little worries, and I'm trying to make sure everything goes good for my boy, right? That's really what I'm hoping for.
And the family name
that we don't. Yeah, someone's got to carry this embarrassment.
So were you filming any of this? Was anybody filming?
Oh yeah,
He did. He filmed the whole thing.
Oh, I filmed the whole.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I showed you this morning.
Oh, I just saw the bullet. I didn't see Travis. I just saw the.
Oh no,
I
was filming.
He was on the deer.
Oh, I don't give a shit about the deer falling. I want to see the kid.
Oh no, I was filming him because
I was coaching.
I
He was doing good.
I've been
He did
down
good.
this road all of a sudden,
Yeah.
and I wanted to make sure I had really
zoomed
good
in.
footage.
Dude,
as tight as you could.
He was like highest quality resolution,
did.
like
I did. I
steady as
everything.
possible. Like he's like, I'm not missing this one. Like,
Yeah, I was a half step away from buying one of the cameras you see like an MLB game. You know,
Oh,
that big-
God.
All right, here's the question. You said last time before Jake shot his, your dog looked at you and was like, "Hey, take me.
Oh, he was
and
with
you
us.
didn't. So you took him
No,
this time.
he was not staying at home.
Yeah.
And I wasn't knocking, you know, the father-son or anything, like I couldn't shoot, but I thought maybe it was a little bad juju. I didn't take him.
Yeah.
And he was there. He was right next to me underneath. Actually, it was underneath your chair in the deer blind.
Just panting his tail off.
Patting his tail off, yeah.
Wow.
And so, but what I started getting a little worried about for Travis is that it's probably I should trust my son more and his ability, but I don't. And and so it just never would walk out from the feeder. It would if the feeder he would be looking left of it but feeding behind it, and he would step out to the right and look back in.
Yeah,
and
circle right back in.
And it just wouldn't sit still. And finally, he turns perfect broadside, and it's a nice feeder. Frank's dad doesn't have bad stuff, and so now
you can see basically, I'm gonna call it half the deer.
yeah,
You can see like all the vital area.
You see the kill zone.
yeah,
You can see the kill zone and then the top of the feeder.
but see,
yeah.
but see,
Or the bottom of the feeder.
But you've got the feeder motor in there.
Just made it easier
You've got
for
the
him.
cage.
That's what I
You
thought.
made the aim small, miss small. You just
Yeah.
like took
Oh,
out all
no,
the
we
bad
did.
stuff.
Yeah,
I-
separate, needed a thread and needle.
And I'm like, Travis, go ahead and shoot it. And he's like, you sure? I'm like, yep. We're gonna do this.
And I was like,
He's waiting for like a ding or
wincing.
freaking
Oh,
part
yeah.
of the feeder to go flying off or something.
something. And so he shoots, and sure enough,
Dude,
you hear a
drills it.
wallop.
Nice.
And I'm zoomed in as far as my phone will let me go, and he shoots, and I'm watching, and I see it just whack.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's a good hit. It sounded like a good hit.
Yeah.
And so now it kind of runs, but doesn't really. It kind of
Makes a
trots.
semicircle.
It trots off to the left like 30 yards,
Yeah, at most.
and it's just standing
Standing.
there.
So I'm trying to bolt, but we have a single shot. I've already prefaced that.
Yeah.
I might as well have had a muzzle loader.
Lord.
So anyhow, get the freaking second round in there because my worst thought is this thing is about to bolt, and we're
And
not.
and
I'm asking Jake the whole time, is it bleeding? Is it bleeding? He's
No,
like, no,
not at all.
nothing. He's like, not a drop, and I'm like, God.
And at this point, I have my head stuck out the window with my
Yeah.
binoculars. Like,
He's
I'm
just
not-
watching the deer.
I'm not losing it.
And I'm like, dude, just stay on it, And I'm working on this damn gun, God. Anyways, so I get the gun bolted, get Travis kind of set up out of a window, and then the deer kind of
It lays down.
it lays down, but then it like gets back up, lays down, gets back up. Like this kind of goes on for like
it's like it's
it
trying
seemed
to.
like an eternity.
Yeah, it's like
But-
it's probably 2 minutes, but it's trying to get its legs
know, it
back
was
underneath
longer
it.
than 2 minutes,
It
I
might
feel
be.
like.
And it would sit there wobble, and I'm like, and I'm watching. I'm like, there's got to be some blood. There's a hole in this animal somewhere, and I've got my.
So you weren't. So if it'd been that long, you weren't able to get another round in the gun.
No, I did,
well,
and
now
I
we-
got Travis kind of set up.
but now he's facing us like dead on.
Yeah.
Like, it
and I
would've been-
told Travis, I said, if the deer like tries to run or gets up, shoot it anywhere. I don't care. Just shoot it.
Yeah.
And Travis is nervous.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
me
was the
too at
only
that point.
time I actually saw Travis like get nervous, and he told me, he said, just kill it. And I'm like, no, this is your deer. This is
Yeah.
you got to finish
Good
this.
man.
And he calms down and gets on the gun, and the deer at that point kind of laid down, and its head's still up, like it's just looking around. And I'm like, what the hell? And I keep asking him, I'm like, there's no blood, and he's like, nothing, dude.
And he's at now probably 100 yards. I've got 12x, like high. I got the razor binocular. I can see everything. Like I see hair. Right.
Couldn't
I'm
even
like,
see an
there's
entry hole.
Nothing. There's nothing.
It just took it. Like just straight up, just was like, this bullet's now mine. It was crazy.
And so finally he falls over.
Yeah.
Dunzo. And so it was a perfect moment because his dog runs up and starts jacking with it. So I know it's dead. And there's like one last death throw. And so Travis is now like beside himself excited.
Oh, yeah.
God, yeah.
And so he goes to run up. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like you could get hurt doing this. And is that perfect? How do you approach?
Great
What do
teaching
you look
moment.
for?
Great
And the
teaching
whole
moment,
thing. And we get up there and like This kid just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
it
When he
was
saw those horns,
everything.
dude, I mean, that might as well have been a 50-inch axis deer or something. I don't even know because, like, that kid went through the roof. It was awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah.
So.
What a memory. What a moment too to experience with your son. Like that's next level. To be there, to be able to experience that with him, and it's something y'all will always have together. He will always remember of how he, was able to bring the title back to the family after your father just dumped it.
Someone's got to bring
Scooped it
credit
up
to
and
the
ran with it. Oh, man.
I can't wait to see him. He's probably going to be unbearable for a while.
Probably. But here's what's
Dude,
funny
he
about
is
this
still
though.
on cloud nine.
I bet,
I saw him
man.
yesterday.
So we roll it over because we're going to take the photos and all that stuff. Once again, that round sticking out the backside of it like a pimple.
Yep.
Like it was the same deal. It was caught right underneath the
They're
skin.
tough, man. They're just tough.
Well, I will say this.
and
If
I've-
I was to say one negative thing about that bullet, whatever it is, I don't know, that's it.
it
that
didn't break
exit.
up.
It didn't exit.
Did it break up
yeah.
at least? I mean, was
Because
that a
I-
part of it or?
On the axis, it did. On the Oryx,
It did not.
Wow.
Like it on the axis, it probably had what 35%.
Yeah, it
weight
stripped,
retention
it stripped the jacket on the axis. It stayed
Yeah.
all the way together on the
on the
Oryx.
Oryx, and that would be the only complaint I would have is not having that.
And you got to
blood
think,
trail.
stripping it out like that, it's got to be doing a ton of damage internally.
dude.
But that axis was
That
able to-
hydrostatic shock on it. I mean,
The
it
freaking lungs on that axis deer look like Jello.
like it
There
was
was nothing.
It was
There ain't
perfect.
no blood coming out of the mouth.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Wow. They're
And,
amazing.
and I'll show you the photo in a second. I have a picture with my hand next to it for where the entry hole was because there was just a little teeny tiny of blood on it, and it's a perfect 264 hole.
Yeah.
Like if you would have taken
Yeah.
the back of this pin and dipped it in red paint and went,
Yeah.
Wow.
That was it.
Literally.
and this is one of those things that I've learned a lot about this whole process, or at least hunting an axis, because I had an experience before this, never had an opportunity to do it. When we skinned him out, there was an 1.5 inch and 3/4 worth of fat on his neck, and all the way down to his body, he was still about an inch. So that fat, as soon as that round passed through, went
Yep.
Wow.
and sucked it
And
tight.
sealed the hole up.
That's wild.
And I wouldn't call our deer normal. I don't think a deer. I've shot a wild axis deer, like out in Junction, and it weighed maybe 215, 220 pounds, and it was a 6.5-year-old deer like ours. But I mean, that one that you hit, I'm telling it had to weigh 300 pounds. And I mean, the one that Travis even shot, it was.
Yeah,
That's
I can't
beefy.
remember. It was.
it was 230.
I think it was bigger than the Oryx.
It was.
Yeah.
No
it
way.
weighed more than the Oryx. The
way.
Oryx was drawn back.
Okay.
Yeah. But it outweighed the
But
Oryx.
that a lot has to do with your dad and his management program for the ranch.
Yeah.
And you're doing a really good job taking care of them.
No, we went to skinning that axis deer, and it was just
Yeah,
the
so y'all-
most beautiful.
Y'all
freaking meat.
loaded him up on the side by side.
Yeah.
And just you two guys.
Nope. And we had
Tractor.
Travis.
Nope. Travis.
yeah.
Travis up there in the bed of it, holding the head up.
Yeah.
And
And
I
it-
would get a.
Not letting go of those horns.
No.
No.
And it was me and him in the back of it, just 1, 2, 3.
All we could do.
And
got
that
us.
sucker was heavy.
I
the
bet.
Oryx wasn't horrible.
No,
That
the Oryx
one-
wasn't bad.
crazy.
The,
That axis
the
was
axis was, yeah.
I think because it was ever so slightly in the dips where they pick it
Mm-hmm.
up higher.
Yeah.
But so we get back. Travis is going to help out again, but he disappears for a minute. Comes back with yet another plate of food.
No.
Yes, he did. And he had found corn casserole at this time.
Yeah.
Oh no, that sucker, that was legit. That was amazing. Maybe because I was hungry at that point. But your mom makes a mean corn casserole.
Well, now I'm gonna feel like when I go over there, I want some mama's food.
Some mama's food.
The fact that his dad is skinny, beyond, it's kind
It
of
shows
like
how much he works.
it's like Dom's daddy. Like
Yeah.
you just don't get it.
And Down's daddy the same way, works his ass off, like
Yeah.
sun up to sundown.
Because of that.
But it
God
was
bless him.
so I had one of the best parts for me of the whole thing. I mean, outside of like the Travis deal, but just like a personal thing for me is that it was interesting to watch Frank skin both of these animals. Is because I've skinned dozens and dozens, and I have my process. But it was really interesting to watch how exactly a taxidermist trimmed where it needed to be. He knew exactly where, like, I've always given too much. Like, I go about middle of the belly, I ring it, and I run from there because I want to give my taxidermist more hide than too little, right? That makes perfect sense. But, I mean, how he came up and he's like, nope, this is all I need. And, like, everything else was just extra.
Wow.
I got a good lesson on taxidermy level skinning that.
I wouldn't say everybody knows that.
So
I wouldn't. I mean, I could trace it out on a deer, but like I told you, because you had asked me the question when I was skinning it, like, how many of these do you have that are, that people cut up the wrong way or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
And it happens. I mean, it sure does. And it's too short, or, they just
come up the front of the leg.
They go up the front of the leg or the front of the brisket, or they go to the curly Q on a whitetail, and that's not near enough. But what amazes me, and I guess it's just now kind of dawning on me, when someone does that, I can still fix it if I have that skin there. But what people will do is they'll go to the front of the legs or go to the front of the brisket and then cut the rest of it off, and I'm assuming just throw it away.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why. Like, if it's on the hide, if I have it to work with, I can repair that. But if it's just thrown away, it's gone.
Can't make it from nothing.
No.
So Jake, do you still need a hide?
He does.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go back. We're gonna get a
But we talked about this. I'm going to wait. One, I'm in no rush. But two, I'm gonna wait till I have.
Now you got a freezer full.
I do. And I need to talk to you about that. I'm gonna get your professional opinion.
You got the meat
in a
back,
second.
or you already processed it?
No, it's still on ice.
Oh well.
That's the plan tomorrow, maybe. And I'm gonna ask both y'all's advice here in a bit over that. Like, hell, are we doing on this? What are we going with?
I don't know.
No. I'm gonna wait for my coal for the hide, basically. I'm gonna kill it with PRC. I am going to give it one more shot. We're going.
Oh, I would.
I'm gonna get
100%.
my load developed. I'm gonna go find a pig. It's going to become an experiment,
Yeah, I would.
and then I'm going to kill it with that PRC.
So many evil thoughts like just going through my
Dude,
mind.
I mean,
Like,
I don't blame him, though. I mean, can you honestly blame him? He's already committed to this gun. I mean, yes, I know the first thought you want to say is just shoot better.
I didn't want to say shoot. Because
I
he's
mean-
like, I shot it right through the heart. And I'm like, I don't think you shot
Well,
it
that's
through
what
the
you
heart.
told me that I clipped.
I will no. What I
Maybe.
said was I don't know how you didn't shoot it in the
Because
heart.
I got in and Daniel's like, yeah, they said they did. Jake said they did a neurocropsy and it went right through its heart. And I'm like,
He said hit the lower third. I didn't say through the heart.
Yeah, no, it hit. It had to have.
I think
Obviously,
you
it
didn't
hit
hit it at all.
something to kill it because,
or-
God, there was nothing on
Or
the outside.
it is a genius maneuver by an exotic game operation to where, like, when harsh weather comes, hard winters and stuff, they just take a couple dead deer and throw it in the freezer.
Oh.
And then
Wow.
when I'm evil,
Wow.
I think like this shit. And then, like, when somebody whiffs it, they still want that money, right? So they just pull the dead animal. A couple days later, they're like,
yeah.
That's
found it.
You know
Yeah.
what? That could be because I still haven't seen these horns.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. If that is what we did, God, I wish we would have left it in the freezer a day longer because that thing.
Oh, well, he
ranked.
calls me, and he's like, I'm going out there. You want to come? And I'm like, no.
I can smell it. Sorry, I
Hell
smell
no.
it from here.
He's like, because he's already seen it once. And I was like, you got the head and everything? He's like, no. He's like, there was maggots everywhere. And he's like, I'm going to give it a couple days.
God.
And then he's like, I'll come by the shop and show it to you.
I'm
But
just
it
waiting. And
stinks.
I want to bring you the horns when I know you're completely not. You're right.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like the podcast kind of talking.
Well, it's kind of
through
like
it.
the mule deer. The mule deer, you didn't feel like
I
satisfied.
don't want you to see it. I
And
don't want
the
you
fact
to.
that you
The
didn't.
thing I'm worried about it too. I don't want you to see it and be like, oh, we'll just stick it on the wall as a euro.
No,
because it is
that's what he
way
did.
too
So
big a
you-
deer
look
for
at
that.
You see this muley right here?
I know.
I'm not far from that.
I know you're, and I know if I bring it in here, you're gonna do that
And it's
crap.
because I told you the same thing. My little consolation mule deer I shot in Montana.
It's not the same.
No, but it was.
Dude, we
it
worked
was a
our
huge-
ass off to find that
Oh,
set
I
of
know.
horns.
And it was a trophy mule deer that he shot.
It's
And
just
I'm like,
sitting
what
on my
type of
work-
mount did you do on it? And he's like, I just threw it on the side of my garage. I'm doing a Euro mount.
Yeah,
I'm
he
like,
asked me to clean it up because he
hell,
said it
man?
still stinks.
oh,
No, it doesn't still stink. It's I never got the oils out of it. It's all yellowish.
That's honestly, I'm gun shy of bringing it up here because of that. Because I know if you see it as a Euro, you're gonna be like, I'll just stick it in the corner.
That's not a bad call. That was probably pretty smart because I'm not that far
because
off of it.
I know you. I know you.
just mount it. Do something awesome with it.
No, I'm just gonna mount it and bring it up here. Then you don't have a choice.
There
Then
you
it's
go.
like, it's going on the wall. It's too late.
Too late now. That's what Travis asked. Like a day later, he goes, "Hey," because we're gonna get him shoulder mounted. I was like, "Yeah, we'll put him in the room or whatever. You know, your animals, show them off. You have them forever. I still got all mine, right?" And he's like, "Hey, can I have one of the?" Can I have one of the sidewalls in the showroom to be like the Travis section of the store?
I like the way he's thinking.
I'm gonna bring him a plaque. I need to make a plaque that says it like killed by Travis.
Travis's section.
I like the way he's thinking.
God.
So I mean,
That's awesome.
he's still on cloud nine about it. And so the last couple of days we've had a vacation Bible school there at the church, and he's one of the leaders. He's actually leader of your son's little group, which is funny.
Yeah.
But that's what he said. He's like, yeah. He asked me the other night. I needed to text his mama the trophy photos because he doesn't have a cell phone. He's like, I got to show all my buddies at church. They don't believe me. He's like, they don't believe I shot a stud.
Oh, they do now because I saw all of them yesterday, and they all came up to me, like 4 or 5 boys. Well, first off, Travis gave me the sweatiest, dirtiest hug I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, sounds like Travis.
And I had a couple boys come up to me, and they're like, did Travis shoot Mr. Frank, how can I get out there? And
That's what I was saying. They didn't.
God, Travis.
I wouldn't be asking if. I'd be like, hey, how do I get a piece of that action?
Yeah. No, that's, yeah. A couple of them are coming to my house tomorrow to trim limbs.
Nice.
Just
hey, if y'all work your ass off for the next year,
Yeah.
No
kidding.
That's awesome. And so now I got a cooler. I need to figure out where your dad bought it from because I actually love the shit out of that cooler.
That cooler is awesome, and it holds ice for 14 days.
I bet it will.
One of the giant?
It's a giant igloo.
It's as big as this table.
Oh yeah.
I have 2 of them.
It's so
When y'all
big.
go elk hunting, if y'all want to borrow them,
The best thing is that I still have Daniel's little tractor at my house. Otherwise, I never would have got it out of my truck because I came here and filled it full of ice. I bet this sucker weighs 1,000 pounds.
Oh, at least. We use it. I mean, when we put a couple animals in it like that and fill it up with ice, yeah, me and you can't pick it up. I mean, we struggled with half the ice. I'm sure was in there.
Yep.
Wow.
And so now we're going to get a process, and I'm torn between what I typically do, and for us, we eat a lot of wild game. As much, I don't get to deer hunt as much, but a lot of folks will have like MLD deer, like, hey, I need to kill so many, and I can't eat all these. You want some? And I'm like, sure, and just throw them in my cooler, and I'll go home and I'll take the back straps and I'll cut them into steaks, and I'll take a couple of the roast out and I'll cube them up and vacuum seal them, and then like 90% of the deer turns into ground meat because we eat so much ground meat between tacos and
dude. If you do that with
I know
it's
stuff.
they said it's drawn up or the Axis, you can get so many steaks out of those hams.
God, you can.
So the question I have is, tomorrow is my day off, and either I have 2 options. Either A, I end up just processing out like I had planned. I'm going to spend the whole afternoon. I got everything set up-ish to just knock it all out. Spend the whole day, get it all done.
That is a whole day up. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Or my other option is to get in contact with you and take it down to Belleville.
That's what I would do. And I'm going to tell you what else I would do with it. I mean, take your back straps and all that out, but what I would do, I'd have them make you fajitas out of the hindquarters of the Axis deer.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do like some cube steaks, some roasts.
Because see, that's my.
Then I would add, and this is what I do, I add 10% bacon and 20% brisket. It not only makes you have more hamburger, but dude, the freaking burger. We all ate hamburgers in my house.
Oh yeah. And see, that's the one reason why I was like, kind of back of my mind, maybe I'll do something different, is I know my cuts out of whitetail. I know what I'm going to eat. It's pretty much the 3 things: stew meat, hamburger meat, and backstrap. Right? Those are the 3. Because I'm not eating the ribs. I'm not eating deer fajitas. I'm not doing any of that. But maybe there is something that I I didn't want to
I
screw
love
up
the
and miss,
fajitas
and
out
miss
of-
out on something of the.
Yeah. Kristen shot at Axis back in November, and we made like, I think we ended up with like 8 pounds of fajitas out of that sucker.
Good God. That's
And
awesome.
that stuff is good. Because you can not only do it with fajita, like a traditional fajita, but like we'll put it in stir fry for like Asian, or hell, she'll even like cut it into little strips and just batter it and fry it like that, and kind of like put it over rice and gravy. It's phenomenal. I mean, it like melts in your mouth.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe
You're making me hungry.
I may just holler at you tomorrow and
Real.
have you make a phone call for me. Like, Jake's gonna drop a cooler
Yeah.
off.
It's funny.
Do
When
this.
They'll know
when
when
I've
you
got-
pull up with that cooler. They'll know exactly who
whose
that
it
is.
Well, it's funny. Tonight, I've actually got, that's what I thought out today, is I've got orcs that I'm going to get home, and can't wait. Just do a quick sear on both sides.
mean, you
it
could
cooks
do it-
so quick.
With the orcs too, like it wouldn't even be a horrible idea to do, just because that one was kind of so small. Like it wouldn't be a horrible idea to do like one thing of sausage, like just a minimum.
Oh no! If I take
Pick a flavor.
Oh,
and no, I don't. I doubt Mark's listens,
You
but
okay?
if he does,
or I'm thinking orc summer sausage. Holy crap.
oh, that
God.
that
And
raspberry
that
chipotle
smoked
down there.
chipotle.
Dude.
Oh
that
my
one.
That would
God.
be next
All
level.
right, fine. I'll just
That
drive
would
to
be-
Go make him do it.
Dude,
That would be.
you're going to have to share. If you do that, that would
Yeah.
be amazing.
I've never met you a day before in my life.
Hey,
He's gonna let you smell the empty package.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to roll up there and be like, hey, I want to make sure that this is the only orc you'll ever do like this.
No, I'm gonna bring it up here. And I'll have Jason down there working. I'll be cooking just like my one. Like I'm bringing like 3 ounces. Of it.
3
Just
ounces.
just enough for me.
Just to get the smell around the
That's
shop.
not how he does
I-
things.
I-
No. He'll come intentionally on my day off and bring enough for everybody and give it to everybody. And then the next day they all talk about, oh, dude, like on my days off, they like all order shirts. I'm telling you. And I'll come in and everybody has these, or we'll go out to like Ducks Unlimited or something. And everybody's wearing these new badass Circle Star shirts
Not
on.
you.
Not me. And I'm like, cool.
Sons of bitches.
And they do it every time. And I'm like, all right, now it's, I don't care.
Now it's
good.
just personal.
It's good. Yeah. So now I wear like a pimp suit when I go in, just to be like, yeah, they're my employees. I'm the boss.
There's something different.
Oh, we have so much
I-
fun, man.
yeah.
It's
But
a
I mean, it
blast.
was overall, that was probably one of my best hunts I've ever been on, just because it's
Well, and hope-
so much fun watching Travis. Because after us on, I'm watching my kid become a little man at the moment, and I'm kind of watching where his wants going. Where his passions are becoming, or
He could do that
life,
for a living.
Yeah.
what life's gonna
No doubt in my
take him.
mind.
And it was 2 years ago now. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago when he went from 5th grade to 6th grade here at the school here. They have a graduation because they go up the hill. The high school, middle school, high school's up a hill from the elementary, and there's just this whole thing they do. And they walk across the stage and they have to say, what are you going to be when you grow up? And Travis is exactly like me. He's a little smart ass. He's a little showboatish. And so his mom and I were like, oh crap, what's he going to do? Like, what's he going to say? Like, everyone's like, I want to be president. I want to be a professional football player. I want to be a YouTube streamer, which I thought's the dumbest shit in the world.
It's all of them.
Oh, it's so bad. Anyways, I want to be the next Mr. Beast. But he walks up and he grabs the mic. He goes, I'm going to go pro in duck hunting, and just like walks off. I was like, that's my boy. And so, and we go on the bear hunt, and my buddy James up there say, hey, the moment you turn 16, I'll put you in a rowboat and a drift boat, and I'll get you, you'll start guiding up here. And he is not shut up about it. And so stuff like this, I think this is actually made where his little life will take him at least on some adventures as a young man. And I think it'd be, I can't
Well, I
blame
tell
him
you
for
what,
it.
I mean, I would love, I love getting kids in the outdoors anyways, but it would be fun to have him like come just sit in the blind on like a guided hunt, just to see.
Yeah. And he's fun because he's not a bad
Oh
kid.
no, he's got a
And
good
what's
head on his
awesome
shoulder.
is that you got to share this experience with him, and it's a circle of life, right?
Yeah.
Like this is something he'll be able to take on to his kids in another 10, 12 years. When you're towards the end of your life, you're getting older, he'll be able to experience with you. It'll be going kind of the other way.
Wow.
Like,
Dude, 12
This-
years, I'll be younger than you are now.
No. You're already getting a mention for forgetting how to count.
You're 73 years old.
I'm a spry 38.
Yeah, my ass.
Y'all two are a freaking mess. That's what y'all are.
Yeah, we have fun. Guys, we're going to get... on that note...
The bell curve of life, he's on like the flat end of the curve.
I hope so. I'm tired of this ride.
I'm tired of it. I want to
get the hell off. Everybody's so woke. Camel Toe's about to be our president. I'm not sure what's going on.
God,
I went off this ride.
I went off this ride.
That's too damn bad.
Go.
Don't.
You want to see? Go to New York City.
I don't want
to. It just, my God.
Oh, I've been there. I don't go anymore.
No, have you been the last 5 years? This place is horrible.
No. And now
is there just a bunch of Kamala voters walking around there?
Everywhere.
All of them. Did you wear a Trump T-shirt one day?
No,
I told him if you want to just get the ultimate reaction, get the restaurant to yourself and everything. Walk in with a Trump hat.
Oh yeah.
He did.
They would have probably spit in his food.
Yeah, that's all right. It's New York. They're going to do it anyways.
Yeah, probably would have. Probably why I liked it.
Probably. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for listening to this second episode saga of Jake's shenanigans hunting axes.
Hopefully we'll do one of these with Jason.
Yeah, one of these days.
A lot of lessons learned.
I
good
wanted
times
to go
had.
out. I actually wanted to go out, as you know, before Jake, because I was planning on going out archery hunting, and he found out about that. And, but now I got to wait till his failure, the shame goes away a little bit, so I can go out there and feel good about this.
Yeah.
So no, it's archery hunting in Texas. If you do it before September, you're gonna die. Even in September with the mosquitoes and the sweat, it's miserable.
And that's the good thing about this podcast coming up. It's right about August now. We're almost to hunt season. That horrible fishing season's behind us. We can get back out the woods. These podcasts are gonna get so good because we got
it's so bad.
We've got
we got
the elk trip coming up. You got dove season coming up. Yep. You got archery season. Everything.
Dude, deer season is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be taking. Yeah. It'll be good times.
I think I was last night. I was scouting some lakes up in Oklahoma for duck season.
We got to start taking Frank on some of these hunts. Mm-hmm. Let him almost die in the mountains.
Well, we got y'all are going to do that bird hunt with us on 20th of September.
The 28th.
20th.
20th.
20th. We got that.
It'll be a good time.
Probably need to remind us.
Write that down somewhere.
I'll remind y'all several times.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down right now because we will not remember.
I'm sure you won't. Then you'll lose that paper as soon as this is
over. Yeah, I'm going to throw it away. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for listening. We'll talk to you soon. Remember to tell your mom and them, like and share if you get the opportunity. If you get a chance as well, want to check out some awesome taxidermy, go check out B&B Taxidermy. They are next level. The website's awesome. Or go visit the showroom.
Yeah, come see us.
Go harass these guys.
Or come see us. We'll give you all ideas for Frank.
Yeah. He won't do them. Isn't there supposed to be a beaver somewhere with a little tray?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be done.
It is done.
Is it?
Yep.
So have you started on the panda yet?
Dad has.
Has he really?
I'm not supposed to say anything.
Yes. All right, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
You've been listening to the Circle Star Firearms and Outdoors podcast with your hosts Jake Cawthon and Jason Westmoreland. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. New episodes drop every Monday and catch up in between episodes on the Circle Star Minute every Friday. For more information, visit CircleStarFirearms.com, or better yet, come see our great new store at 6320 Highway 90 in Anderson, Texas. Until next time, safe shooting, folks.